We haven't gotten this mathy in a while.
A negative possibility of doing something.
Right. You can't have a negative probability.
Don't.
Yeah, it either happens or it doesn't. So how am I going to write that probability, capital P, has to be between 0 and 1 inclusive? Mathematically.
Less than or equal to.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So 0 is less than or equal to P, which is less than or equal to 1.
All right.
So probability has to lie between 0 and 1. I'm going to put a P of little x beside it because it's, whatever probability we're talking about. So it could be anything. But it always has to be between 0 and 1, but it can be 0 and it can be 1. All right, so identify the sample space and determine the number of outcomes if we are tossing 4 coins.
2 times 2 times 2 times 2.
But we have to identify the sample space. So if we're going to identify the sample space, let's make a tree diagram. So remember, each sequence gets its own branches. So the first branch is heads, tails. And then off of that, each one gets a heads, tails. So that's coin 2. This is coin 3.
Oh, wait a minute. You already lost me.
Okay, this is coin 1.
So coin 1 is the first.
Or flip 1. Let's say, well, we're tossing 4 coins, so coin 1. Coin 2. This is coin 2.
Okay.
This is coin 3.
Oh, no.
Lovely.
Ah.
Mine does not look like a tree.
Looks like a bush.
Mine doesn't look, mine's bad. Always. Mine are always bad.
Too small.
Oh, Lord. I'm just drawing equal signs. It's not lit.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
so now we got to draw our sample space.
Wait a minute. Oh, no. I'm doing this all wrong. Why does mine not look like that?
Oh, because mine's a hot mess. Don't worry about it.
I don't think I'm doing mine right. Hold on. It's 1, 2, 3.
4 points. Okay,
Oh, wait. Oh.
so heads, 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 heads.
H.
I'm going to have to redraw mine. Mine does not look like that.
It doesn't have to look like that as long as you have the right things written.
H.
I don't know. Will you check
H,
that?
H, H, T.
Is that right?
Oh, no.
I don't think that's right.
Not like
You don't have enough. Okay, so go back to your second. Your second point's good.
H.
And then
Okay.
does it go?
And then from every flip, it gets
How
an
do
H
you-
and a
this
T.
is so confusing.
H-H-T-H.
Okay.
Oh,
H.
okay, so then from here
T,
it goes
T.
H and T and then H and T.
H.
Right. Because look, I'll show you.
Ooh.
All right. I got 4 points.
Heads.
So here's my first coin. What's the probability? What are my outcomes possibly?
H and T.
Okay, so that's my first coin.
Tails.
So let's say I got a tails on the first coin. What is the probability? What are my outcomes on this coin?
Tails.
Either heads or tails again.
Right. So I have to go out of tails. I have to go
That can either be heads or tails.
heads or tails. But I also have to have one out of heads. I have to have a heads and a tails.
Heads, tails.
Because this second coin has the probability of heads or tails, whether you flipped a tails or a head the first time.
Okay.
So every single one, heads has to have a heads and tails.
Heads,
Tails
tails.
has to have tails.
Okay.
Because it doesn't matter what you
And then we
flip
do it
first.
again over here.
Yes.
Okay.
Heads. H-T.
Tails, tails, tails.
All right. One of the things that you can do is you can get into a pattern and then you don't have to look at them so much. You just figure out what you're doing.
Okay.
We're gonna be like 16 in this, so. Perfect.
Wait a minute.
Okay. Heads or tails, heads.
that's a lot.
Tail. Tails, tails. Oh gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, it's about 16.
Oh, wow. Oh, Lord. Okay. Wait, oh, Lord. Oh, no. I cannot. This is too much. Ah,
I did it, but
how do I even
it
do
took a
this?
while.
All I thought is H, and then I'm lost.
Okay.
Eighth grade.
So this is what you're doing.
I'm so lost.
This is what you're doing.
Oh.
Heads, 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 heads.
Yes, I got that. That's all I have.
Okay, so now,
And then you
heads,
have,
heads, heads, tails.
where are all these tails? Oh my god.
You do it forward.
I can't make anything out. Okay, so we have a head. And then can we have 3 tails?
Wait, don't do it like that. Don't do it like that. You'll really mess yourself up if you do that. Okay, let me see if I can make one bigger so you can see it.
Okay, so
I can't
you
even
rolled,
read my own.
you rolled 3 heads first, and now you either get heads or tails. And then there's also the possibility you roll tails again, the third one, and then you have to do those 2 again. Basically.
I mean, if I was that smart and didn't have to listen, I'd be sleeping too.
Okay, so this is just one branch. We'll do the tails branch in just a second.
Mhm.
So the first thing you do is you read this. Heads, 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 right?
Yes, that's all I got.
Okay, now, heads, 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 tails. You always have to go back to the beginning because you flip all 4 points.
Okay, H.
T.
Okay.
Coin 1, head, head, tails, heads.
Heads, tails. Heads.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then heads, heads, tails, tails.
Tails.
Heads, okay. Heads, tails.
Okay, so now I'm done with the heads, heads, and I'm going heads, tails. So
Okay.
heads,
So-
tails,
Heads, tails,
heads, heads.
Heads, heads.
heads. Oh,
And then heads, tails, tails.
And HTML.
HDTH.
and then H.
TPT.
TTT.
And, then you have
And
to
now
the
you
same
can
thing
do
for
all of
tails.
those with a T at the front instead of an H.
And
Ooh, well, okay, all right, so we have T, H, H. Here I was thinking I can do this. Wrong.
You can.
I have a question.
Yes.
Does it have to be like how you did it, like 4, 4, 4, 4?
No, you can list it however you want to.
Okay.
I just do that to keep myself straight, so that then I'm going to go do them all with T's and not even look at that over here. So.
and you just copy the last 3 letters onto
Yeah.
the first T.
I don't know
T,
the
H,
next
H,
one.
H,
All right, so when you have a sample space like this, one of the things that that they'll ask you is, like, for example, what is the probability of flipping 2 tails? So it happens multiple times. So I flip 2 here. What is the probability of flipping exactly 2 tails?
Oh, okay, that's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6.
6 out of 16. why you have to have your sample space, because otherwise you wouldn't know how many times stuff like that would happen. Okay, is everybody sort of kind of okay?
Sort of, I have to draw this next stuff out because I can't draw it tiny, look at that, I can't.
I know.
Really odd, don't
It is hard to look at it really tiny like that.
fail.
Alright, what are we doing?
Roll a six-sided die.
The sample space, this one's easy. The sample space of a six-sided die.
What's a six-sided die?
A dice?
Like, I know it's a dice.
It's a
but I don't-
D6, yeah.
Regulars.
What's
Oh, it's a regular dice? I
D6?
thought it was something special.
No,
No.
Oh.
just a regular die. Sometimes they call it a number cube.
I like that
Okay,
one.
in this case,
I think where am I?
Never mind, if it's just a regular dice, it's even regular.
Well,
D6, yeah.
over there.
I forgot it was. I was the one who was like. Number cubes.
I thought it was one of those special.
Those are cubes.
This is a number. They're stuck. Number cube. Okay.
That's a lot of numbers.
This one has 6 sides.
Oh, okay, okay.
This one has 8.
Okay.
This one's got 4.
It's like a three-sided die.
But it's just a regular, like, so this one, instead of having dots on it, these actually have numbers.
I like that.
But
Never mind, sorry, I have seen a dice.
hey, you'd be surprised, and actually somebody in here may, when we get to cards that people are like, how many cards are there in the deck? How many suits are there? What are the suits? What color are they? I'm like, are you kidding me? What have you been doing all day? This is these are cool. I like that too. This is what's called a skew die.
Oh, I don't
Oh,
like
I like
that.
that.
It's all,
That's very skewed.
Makes
but
sense.
it's fair. It rolls fair just like the,
Oh, yeah, no, we see
Square ones do.
three-sided die.
I don't know. They just, it's balanced.
That's so
What's
strange.
the
So-
point?
Oh, yeah.
To make people-
Atrocious.
I don't know.
Uncomfortable?
Yeah, I think so.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think it's to bother the OCD folks. I'm not one, so it doesn't bother me. All right, so rolling a six-sided dice, our sample space, what are the possible outcomes? Well, 1, 2,
3,
4,
5,
5, and
6.
that's it.
I like six-sided dice.
Me too.
I roll 5
Stay
of
here
them in a
forever.
row.
Okay, but a lot of things that you do, you actually roll 2 six-sided dice. So, and we will do this one frequently. So, the easiest way to do it is
Like
kind of do it
Monopoly.
in a table, I think. So,
Yes. Okay.
Oh, my.
because if I roll 2 six-sided dice, then what I get totals something different. So if I roll a 1 and a 1, and again, this one has a pattern too. If I roll a 1 and a 1, I get 2, 3, 4, 6. These 2 are my dice.
Oh, I don't like this. Oh, this looks
So,
weird.
so that is your sample space. You don't have to put braces around it or anything. That is your sample space. So, how many possible outcomes do I have?
30?
36, right? There's 36 in the middle, 6
The
times
6
6.
times 6.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's 36 possible outcomes. So just looking quickly, what is the probability of rolling a 3?
Just one
Three
tree
out
or
of
two?
36, so
2 out of 36, because I have a 3 here and a 3 here. So it's 2 out of 36, which
1 out of
simplifies.
18, which is small.
Oh, wait,
And you can see like it's kind of nice, they line up on a diagonal. So if you're looking for 5, the probability of rolling a 5, they're all right there. So
By
4 out of 36, which is quite nice.
Oh.
Yeah, it's nice.
But what's I ask for probability? 1.